top of the Xerath as well, should he use that flash to get out of Cataclysm. The Alistar is the only champion, I believe, that has featured in all 4 of our games today in the Grand Final. It's had 2 losses and a win so far. I started off the day with the victory on the side of eSuba, but then found himself on the losing side. If he finds himself on the losing side again, we get to hear my favorite song. That's all I'm saying, Bliss. That's all I'm saying.
So let's discuss a little bit of engage right here from eSuba, because Humanoids has the ability to long range engage, but if he does, he's stuck right into the enemy backline where Olaf can right click him to death. And that's really not the plan. We have Yeki, who can actually go for Sebex, but only when he doesn't have flash. Tekutka, whose job is to trap Sebex right where he's most fragile and completely take him out right when he needs to. And I really don't see what they can do about Ice Beast, though, because apart from the Emperor's Divide... Wait, no, I take that back. They have a lot of disengage, actually. They can throw him back with the Emperor's Divide. They have the headbutt to get Swain away. They have the Buster Shot, and they can actually keep him off the fight while using a lot of significant cooldowns. It might actually be worth it.
It's true, but if you're using all those cooldowns to try and keep Ice Beasto off your face, who's going to deal with Tabasco? And if the Viking goes big in this game as Olaf takes away his blue buff, it's going to be really, really, really tough for the side of eSuba to deal with all of the pressure that he and Ice Beasto will be putting onto the backline, while we see Sebex and Rulite raining down damage from the distance. Already, we see a little bit of damage put down onto this Xerath as Azir having the better of the early traits.
Most importantly, he has been denied a lot of CS right here, as Humanoid noticed that he started with W. He shoved him into the tower, completely denying him of the mages and the rest of that CS. So, alright, both junglers starting bot side. We haven't actually seen... Oh, it's a Cloud Drake. The first Drake of the game is going to be a Cloud one. And for a game 4, I would expect something like an Infernal one to spice things up, but it's definitely... one of the interesting ones. Right here, we do see Yeki going for an invade, and he will see the red buff being completed. So right here, Tabasco is actually expected on the top side. Right here, Tekutka knows what the chances are for him to show up from the brush.
Yeah, and he's going to go the other side of the Herald's Pit as well. And this means he's going to get himself in behind Ice Beasto while Tabasco is still taking away the Scuttlecrab. Let's see if we get the fight. It's going to be Camille trying to go forward. It's going to be the flash away from the Flag and Drag. Ice Beasto loses flash but keeps his life. Meanwhile, Camille uses her Ripple to get herself away from Tabasco. And it's going to be Olaf still chasing down. Yeki might have to flash here, especially if he gets pulled back by Ice Beasto. Take down Yeki lower and lower. The flash forward from Tabasco. The axe not enough to pick up first blood. Everybody lived, but so many summoners burn.
So in the end, 2 flashes burned from Illuminar and 1 from eSuba. Tekutka is definitely happy about that, since he doesn't have to worry about any of the flashes. But right here, look at how much CS he's been deprived of. He is basically forced to use his teleport so he doesn't stay behind for an entire level. And right here, Ice Beasto has the luxury of moving back in lane on foot, which will give him essentially TP advantage.
Alrighty, Denick going in on the Varus, landing the headbutt, landing the pulverize, but it's Nadius who has been taken lower by the concussive blows. No Winter's Bite going to lock him down just yet though, and the exchange is completed in the bot lane. Currently almost dead level on CS. Here we go again. It's going to be Denick going in, gets the headbutt, gets the pulverize, Moonlight going lower and lower. Stops. It's going to be first blood this time onto Nadius. He's looking for 2. He wants Daylord. Daylord does still have a flash available. I don't think they're going to be able to chase Santa Braum up the chimney.
Tristana and Alistar are one of the most explosive level 3 power spikes a bot lane can have, and it's really surprising to me for a Tristana user like Woolite to not really respect that kind of burst to come through. Right here, he goes down, flash, heal, and exhaust, and the shield in front of him were not enough to keep him alive, and as a result, we're gonna see Radius coming back with possibly a BF sword.
Yeah, and what a difference that is to the 2 daggers that Varus has just picked up as he returns to the lane.
There's a BF. He doesn't quite pick up any health potions. So any form of sword trade might actually backfire. No, he went back, he got a potion, he got a control word. That's more like it. Right here, the lane for eSuba is exactly as they wanted for bot lane. This is something Woolite and Dillard cannot really come back from easily.
It is going to be very, very tough for them. Also here we see Azir yet again raising down damage with those Sand Soldiers, getting himself an 18 CS lead at 5 minutes 30. This is counterbalanced, however, because yet again Ice Beasto is proving true to his name, going full beast mode, getting himself a CS lead over the Camille.
He even has the icy skin. Doesn't disappoint. There's the Aki. He's going topside. The control word though spots him. He's simply gonna break it and leave as Ice Beaster hitting that level 6 is possibly capable of a 1 versus 2. Tabasco also there for good measure. And right here, eSuba will not be taking that fight.
Yeah, someone else who doesn't want to take a fight is Woolite right now. He is not in the best of places in this bot lane, hoping that he can scale up, get himself a Rage Blade as quickly as possible. He's had a second recall since the first one we spoke of, and he's decided to go for the recurve bow, unsurprisingly. So he's not quite as far behind in terms of the itemization in comparison to Nardis' Tristana as he was, but he lost a lot of CS for doing that.
You see, the thing with recurve bow is that it really provides you with the base attack damage to get your last hits, be really good on skirmishes, but for a Varus that is actually maxing his piercing arrow like Woolite, that's definitely not the item you're looking for. You need that pickaxe for that core base damage of that piercing arrow, and if you don't get it, then you feel insignificantly weaker to Tristana. Against the BF Sword, you can get bursted. You have absolutely no way of putting damage back in the face that Tristana is, and on top of that, you're definitely not going fast towards your power spike.
Yeah, Water's going to spot out Yeki here. He's probably just getting himself a little bit of vision down, possibly in the opposition jungle. He's very, very slightly behind in terms of CS over the Olaf. Neither of them with any kill participation just yet. In fact, at the 7-minute mark, the only kill we're looking at is that one which we saw Nadius pick up earlier on. It's still proving to be a very, very tough mid lane for Sebex as he's just trying to farm up.
I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Ninja Tabi on the first recall of Woolite right here, because versus a BF Sword, Tristana, and Yeki actually on the Jarvan, it really does reduce a significant amount of those damages. So I'm gonna be very careful of that bot side because it can get really explosive, it can get very snowbally very easily, especially if Tabasco chooses to play on the bot side of the map. But Tabasco knows his strengths, he knows Ice Beasto is possibly capable of 1 versus 2, and he stays on top side because if you don't shut down a Swain on those first levels, what are you gonna do when he's 11 or when he's 16? There's the ultimatum and their first attempt.
Alistair's here with the teleport, but he's too late to save his jungler.
Yeah,
The Cataclysm was a step too far. You talked about Ice Beasto's 2v1 potential. Well, how about a 2v3? And it is going to be Illuminar Gaming who win that one. 1 all in kills now, ahead on gold.
And Danik actually used one of his summoners right there. He changed it into teleport. He used it topside. He lost a lot of pressure that could have been perpetuated on the bot side. Oh, Humanoid getting 2. Third one, he dodges.
Not enough to secure a kill for Sebex.
That was close. And it was good too. Good reminder to not underestimate that Xerath.
Yeah, valid point, and most importantly, you cannot underestimate Ice Beasto. He has had fantastic performances in pretty much every game, to be fair to him. Even with his team losing in some situations, he's been the one to come to carry, to try and put the team on his shoulders. And right now, with 30 CS and a kill advantage, he's got himself that catalyst. He's obviously going to go back soon and try and pick up his first significant item. And when he's got that Rod of Ages, it's going to be tougher for Camille to pick up any kills on him. And it's already hard.
Right here, Tabasco has been building a tent onto the top side. Ice Beasto is getting initiated on again. Chekutka is dealing a lot of good damage, but Ice Beasto is low. The flash of Chekutka is there, but he doesn't quite opt to use it for a kill, as it wouldn't result in a tower, or and the teleport will be right there for Ice Beasto to minimize his losses. So good right there for Čekurka. He opted in the safe way since they're only one win away from becoming champions of V4, and they're gonna have to find another way to shut down Swain. After all, even if they don't, they do have 3 forms of disengage that could keep him away from that fight.
So as the recall was completed there by Ice Beast, I was looking down to his item, seeing if it was going to be the Rod of Ages completed. Didn't quite have the gold for it due to the time when Čekurka engaged upon him. He went back, he completed Ninja Tabby, cancelled that purchase, instead picking himself up a blasting one to enhance his damage and also some cloth armor so that he would soon be able to get towards those Ninja Tabby. Speaking of Ninja Tabby, I think you wanted to see it out of Nardius, and instead he went for those Berserker Greaves.
Well, Nardius is not going to be making it, but definitely when you're playing versus Azir, Tristana, and Camille, there's a lot of basic attacks coming at you, so it does make up for a lot of its value. Čekurka right here getting completely bullied under his own tower, and it's so low in HP too. This could be tower first blood if Nardius doesn't threaten it on the bot side of the map, and we do see recalls, so Denik might actually change some summoners for a TP topside.
Indeed, he might well do that. It seems very, very familiar to last game where Ice Beasto on his Gnar was pushing down turrets for days. Now it's going to be Wu Light and Daylord who get a little bit of free time in the bot lane. That CS difference that they had earlier on, all but equalized now as they get to put a bit of damage onto the turret as well.
I was really curious to ask you, like, do you think getting that tier early on onto a Swain, onto Ice Beast on topside is worth it for the fast Seraphs? Or is it more prone to actually go for the safe scaling of Rod of Ages and delaying the Seraph? Oh, never mind that, Ice Beast is getting caught!
He's doing his best to stay alive, but it's not quite working. Yeki does benefit from the heal from Nadia. It's going to keep him alive, but not for long. There comes that Zeref.
There's a snipe.
He's also duply, but there Čekurka.
They're going for it.
It's a 2-for-1 in favor of eSuba. It's going to be first turret blood secured by Varus in the bot lane. He's still pushing, and Zeref is going to be able to zone away eSuba from this turret.
And most importantly, right here, they didn't get the tower first blood onto the top side of the map, but they did have to forfeit the bot lane tower. Right here, it's Gulite the one who gets that tower first blood gold. And if it was in Ice Beasto's hands, then maybe the team fights would be much more weak for the team of eSuba. But versus Varus, I think this is the least of your worries when you're playing against a Swain and an Olaf.
So what does that all mean? At 13 minutes, we see ourselves only 800 gold in the difference. It's a gold, it's a gold lead over to Illuminar Gaming. You also have that one turret, picking up the first turret blood. It is, however, a kill lead onto eSuba. There's the nice jump, perfectly timed from Nadia to make sure the chains of corruption would not lock him down. Rulite will be without his ultimate. Nadius gets to safety.
That's what really makes this matchup into a stalemate, and it will end up with both ADCs farming it up. Of course, both Varus and Tristana are considered hyper carries into the late game, but Varus having that extra utility, that crowd control of the chain of corruption and the zoning potential of its spread is what makes him a better team fighter. Right here, if you lock one person with a Braum, it basically guarantees it's gonna spread throughout the entire team fight. And the win condition of eSuba, as we just discussed in the draft, is keeping Ice Beast away from those fights. They have the Bastard Shot, they have the Headbutt of the Alistar, or even the Emperor's Divide. And if it's really, really needed, and he doesn't have a flash, they can cataclysm him away, or even use the ultimatum. Once for sure, it's not really easy to deal with.
Really nice to see the early Herald used there, realizing that most of eSuba were down in the bot side, trying to pick themselves up their first turret. They secured a decent chunk of damage onto the inner turret in the mid lane. Meanwhile, it is going to be the side of the SB who look to try and take this Cloud Dragon. That'll be a nice little secure for them, a bit of a consolation prize, having not picked up the Herald.
Well, I really did dislike the use of the Herald right there. Tabasco was a little bit too in a hurry to use it. I mean, once you keep it on you, you don't just threaten getting towers down. Everywhere you show up, you get improved recall, you get a lot of stuff that is going to be threatening eSuba. Even its use on the bot side around the spawn of a Baron could be enough of a threat to make a team worry about it. And the more worries a team has in their mind, the more room there is for mistakes and forgetting of other threats that might be equally dangerous. So right here, that use of the Rift Herald was definitely suboptimal, and they will have to... Oh no, humanoid. Awkward.
Speaking of suboptimal, humanoid there, he does manage to take away his blue buff, but not quite so successful battling against the giant frog. Tahm Kench's cousin gets away this time with just a sliver of health.
He completely let it leave, like, he didn't actually go back for the retake on the Grom. He's like, not worth it, you're gonna leave today.
Here we go, Chikuska. He's looking for a pick. He's got that Hextech ultimation down on Sway. Flash burned by Ice Beast to get himself to safety.
The flash was being used though, since he did respect Danik's ability of Headbutt Pulverize. But it looked like eSuba was way too hesitant to go for the 2 versus 1. He knew Danik does not really have the amount of damage needed to burst through that Ice Beast though. And right here, taking his flash is definitely a step to the right direction, because the next time they opt to play aggressive against him, he's going to be a much easier target.
So considering the field of play as it is at the moment, Illuminar Gaming looking to try and secure the final in a turret, not going to be able to do it due to the wave clear coming out of especially Humanoid right now. We're seeing the Tristana pushing down the bot lane. Roulite has now got his Rage Blade all completed. Went for the Ninja Tabby rather than Berserker's Greaves, obviously respecting the damage that can come out of Nardius and also Yeki and Chikuska. Meanwhile, what exactly are eSuba doing right now? They're 1,000 gold down. How are they going to keep themselves level in this game?
Well, I'm mostly looking into gold efficiency of the items chosen rather than the gold deficit, because 1,000 gold is not too much to count. Oh, Xerath gets caught out of position, but look at D-Lord, he's zoning everyone.
Yeah, Nardius is going pretty low due to the Arcane Barrage. Only one shot lands of the 4, however, and it's going to be Nardius managing to get himself to safety. Flash burn from Sebex and also the heal to keep himself alive in that situation. Nice plays coming out of Yeki.
We can already see 4 Ninja Tabai for the team of Illuminar Gaming. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like Greyheart, we have Jarvan, we have Camille. Even Azure is so basic attack based. So right here, those Ninja Taibais are gonna make a lot of efficiency for Illuminar Gaming happen. So I'm looking into those inventories. I'm looking into that Luden's Echo. Like, it's one of those few times we do not see Seraph's Embrace being built by Sebex, and that's a champion that really shines on it. So what's really happening right here for the team of Illuminar? Because they didn't go for the tier on Ice Beast, they didn't go for the tier on Sebex. It looks like they're recognizing their win condition to be on the mid game, and they're not really putting themselves back with extra delays on their own power spikes.
Ice Beast is the only champion in the game at the minute with a significant CS lead. Alex, yet again, really winning in the lane in a really big way. It's been so tough in this game for Chikuska to keep up with him. There is almost that that Trinity Force completed for the Camille now, but she's going to be dealing with a Seeker's Arm Guard, 6-stack Rod of Ages Swain. And if those two go one-on-one in the top lane, or whichever lane they end up meeting, you can really only see one winner at the moment.
Oh, Woolite. Please no.
Yeah, he flashes
he has
away.
No idea.
Nardius, and here comes Daylord. It's going to be the re-engage. Buster shot has already been used, and it's going to be Nardius who goes down. He's got one. Dennick trying to get out of there, but the unbreakable will might not be enough to keep the cow alive. It's going to be Mushu beef for dinner, and it's going to be Dennick dropping Roulite with a second kill.
He is going to be delaying the inevitable, because right here, Illuminar Gaming had the perfect bait. Roulite seemed like the easiest target in the world, even in our eyes, and they were ready for it. They were ready to react to a possible collapse there, and Wulai, so fast on his fingers, he flashes that pulverize, which could be his devastation, and right now they're being rewarded with a Baron buff, because Yeti is kind of being zoned by D-Lord, and they're... Oh, wait, is that a TP? They're going for it. They don't want to give it up.
He's looking to try and stop this Baron. There is damage raining down onto the side of Illuminar Gaming. They're going lower and lower. That's going to be the cut view. Yeti goes in, jumps himself out of there.
He's still going
lower and lower, but it's going to be Jarvan who dies first. Camille's done a good job pushing in the top lane. It's going to be a one-for-one trade so far. Swain is dead for Illuminar Gaming, but with the jungler dead on eSuba, there's no way they can capitalize on that pick they just got.
Well, that's the one thing for sure, is that Illuminar Gaming are not really tanky enough. Ice Beast, though, is not really there yet. He's not able to tank all of that damage. And the Arcane Barrage is just simply going to wait there to keep the tower alive. But is it going to do it? No, is the answer. eSuba getting that mid lane tower. And that Baron rush really backfired on top of that dragon. I'm not really sure if they can get it, though.
Not the first time today, Bliss, that we've seen a misplay on the Baron. Nardius might be misplaying himself. He has to bust a shot across two walls to try and get himself to safety. There is an Infernal Dragon on the table for the first time in this grand final. Taken down very low already by the side of Illuminar. Will Jackie be able to get inside? He doesn't even bother trying. Zoned away by Swain was the Jarvan. He has to run into the mid lane. Infernal Dragon goes to Illuminar Gaming.
Let's take a look at what happened. Double TP actually being used right next to the Baron, which is half HP. They do not want to go for the secure since they're afraid of the smite steal. There comes the ultimate for Ice Beast, and the Illuminar Gaming are simply moving back. They do not want to play that fight. They leave Ice Beast in his own fate, and they do satisfy themselves with giving away their top laner, but not losing the fight and Baron buff, which is the safest way to play this one.
Yeah, it certainly is. Super now have taken themselves a small gold lead on the back of that misplay from Illuminar Gaming, and Ice Beast may well be caught out as we see Cheskuska going in with Denning. That's going to be a stun landing on Ice Beast. He's channeling the ultimate. Is it going to be enough to keep him alive? Is it going to be enough to get a kill? Is it going to be enough to 2 versus 1? Camille running for his life. The flash out of Camille, keeping him alive. The cow now decides to start fighting against Ice Beast, so he's going to get caught out. There's the roof, the unbreakable force.
Everyone's moving both lane.
The ultimate out of Sebek. He's already picked one up on the Camille. He might get another. No, Ice Beast takes this one as it gets Humanoid getting caught. Humanoid arrives too late to the party, and he might pay for his late arrival with his life. Dashing away to safety. Jarvan now looking for the re-engage, looking for Tabasco, looking for Ice Beast, gets the Cataclysm onto the Swain, but look at the damage raining down from Swain. He's trying to 1v3, he doesn't manage it, and Nardius manages to get the shutdown, and now it's going to be eSuba trying to run for the hills. Meanwhile, in top lane, Illuminar are pushing hard with the Varus and the Brawn.
They get one kill, but now Tabasco and Sebex are on their back. Of course, they cannot win 2 versus 3, but they're cancelling the recalls, and that's more than enough. As Moonlight and D-Lord are rewarding themselves with a tower on the top side. This is absolutely essential in the contest of the future Barons. Just look at this. Ice Beast, though, playing 2 versus 1 like a champ. Chakurka going away. He thinks he is alive, but Sebex has other plans for him. He goes Arcane Barrage mode, insta-sniping him like a scripter, while Danik will suffer the same fate. And after that, eSuba, no matter how much potential they have in that fight, they have to race with a bot lane that is applying pressure on the topside jungle.
Feels bad, man. That was a Giga Yikes moment for the Camille, but this might be a Giga Yikes moment for Illuminar Gaming if they can't stop this Baron going down. It's down to 4,000 health. The explosive charge is there. That's going to be a smite from the blue team. They managed to pick up the kill. It's eSuba with the Baron on 5 members, sneaking this one away. From behind Illuminar Gaming's back. They're trying to take the Baron away, but it's going to be the Swain who drops first. Ice Beast goes down. Here come the resets. It's going to be Nardius with a kill onto the Olaf. 2 for nothing. I didn't see how Woolife and Daylord died. I assumed it's during that replay, and that's what meant eSuba started that Baron up.
They did get kept in the mid lane, Greyheart, and after that, Tabasco was so far away from the Baron pit, they were not even afraid of the 50-50 smite. It was a repetition of the Lee Sin game because Tabasco was nowhere to be seen. Just take a look. Denik is there, zoning everyone. Tabasco is so far away and he has absolutely no hope of stealing that. While Ice Beaster has gone in, he uses a stopwatch. He is healing rapidly, but the burst right after that does not even allow him to reactivate his own ult. Tabasco also dies, and Sebek's poking abilities cannot really shine in a team fight that lasts only 10 seconds.
I had an absolute shocking moment there. All fight long, I'm like, Woolite, Daylord, where are you? They need the damage. Wipe some of these Baron buffs. They're already dead, and that's what signaled the go. We might see a replay of how those two dropped at some point. Obviously, some slight rotational errors after taking that top lane turret.
Well, right now, things are getting pretty hard for Illuminar Gaming. There's no more room for mistakes. This one could be it. One more win for eSuba will mean grabbing this championship, and Illuminar Gaming have not completely lost it yet. They are afraid of Yaki's engage, but the Woolite seems pretty confident. They are losing the tower, but they are doing their best into wave clearing and making this Baron rush as hard as possible for the team of eSuba, who is splitting across the map right now with Sekut down the bot lane.
Yeah, he's having a really, really nice time in terms of the split push damage he's put down. The number of times he's gone to a side lane and done work before a big fight broke out has really, really impacted the fact that eSuba have this gold lead, have this positional, this rotational potential win-in condition, which is working out for them pretty well at the moment. He had a really rough time in lane. I think he's about 40 CS at one point behind. That is almost equaled out now. And Ice Beast, though, he's not irrelevant by any means.
Oh,
but he
is
certainly far behind as he was. This could be a fight breaking out now as Nardius is going
getting
lower.
poked.
It's going to mean, yeah, Baron is just going to help poke down. And again, we do see Chakotka. He's in the bot lane. He's pushed away.
Humanoid.
And the turret is going lower and lower. So hard for Illuminar to defend.
Never have I ever seen a mid laner split push through mid lane itself. That's a new one, because the mid lane tower almost goes down, and Humanoid deals enormous amount of pressure on the mid lane. The pressure he applies there is way too much. Right now, this tower is gonna go down, and if it does, then all the base is exposed. Right here, they have to either fight or flight.
If this turns out to be the game-winning
push,
let me stop right there, because Nardius has been stopped right there, deleted by Woolite and Sebek. Now it's going to be Luminar who are able to chase eSuba out of their base. ESB step one step too far forward.
Ice Beast, they're just turning that ult up just in case it resolves into a fight. Right here, the Mountain Drake is maybe the compensation of eSuba, but Tabasco knows that he wants to catch Jetski, who is actually flashing away. Now there it is, and they have no Schmite. They have to actually leave that Mountain Drake to the hands of Illuminar Gaming, and right when we thought that with that Baron, eSuba will be able to get most out of it, they lose a lot of time on the mid lane, they lose most of the duration of the Baron buff, and they do not even get the mid lane inhibitor. That is disastrous.
I was about to ask you if Woolite and Daylord getting caught in the mid lane, going down, giving away that Baron buff to eSuba could be a 150,000 euro costly mistake. Well, the same question might be asked for Nardius stepping just a little too far forward for that inhibitor.
Well, it's definitely not a joke, because right now, all these players are feeling the pressure. These games are no joke. Right here, we do have Humanoid, who is almost on 4 items with Advances Veil. He's making his own self a much harder target to chase. And right here, if you just become Tabasco, if you get into shoes, who are you really going for? You know that if you go into the front line, you're gonna get caught by the Cataclysm, and you're not gonna be able to do much, or even worse, the Ultimatum, which you cannot flash over. So who can you actually chase? And that is the struggle of Illuminar, because when it comes to team fighting, they're very strong with the Swain, but they do not really have identity for their own jungler, as they only can poke with Varus and Xerath, but they have no means of hard engage.
Well, here's that Xerath. He's in mid lane. He is almost 100 CS behind his lane opponent, so desperately trying to secure as much as he can. He's not going to be able to take his blue buff, though. That's going to get taken away by Nardius, just immediately devastated as Azir takes away a red buff on the other side of the map. At the moment, eSuba are closing the noose around the neck of Illuminar Gaming. They've got themselves this 7,000 gold lead, and even though the Baron buff's expired, they're looking to find a way to push an end.
They will be keeping up the pressure, that's for sure, but it kind of backfires. Ice Beast, though, and Woolite have been soaking way too much farm under their own base. They don't have to overextend for that farm. They don't have to go out and expose themselves to the dangers of vision in the long-range engages that eSuba have. They get their own farm delivered under their towers, and they're pretty happy about this because they're being freely scaling into the game. And although Tristana and Azir are pretty terrifying into the late game, I cannot say the same for Jarvan. Oh, Ice Beast flashes over. Pretty smooth.
Yeah, straight away respecting the damage that's coming out of Azir. 303 and 356 CS. Got those. He's got 5 items completed and a Doran's Ring on top of that, which is obviously the most crucial item in his build there, Alex. And it's going to be eSuba immediately turning to the Baron. This is a little bit more risky than the last one, though.
All right, so we do have the Knight's Vow. It is going to make it much easier for Woolite to apply pressure into those teamfights, deal as much damage as he can, because this is a very heavy crowd control team for eSuba. Like, if Woolite wants to apply damage, he needs to wait for those cooldowns. Like, they need to be used, and then he needs to start dealing damage. Right here, Chakurka has been applying maximum pressure. He keeps Ice Beast into his own lane, and he is threatening with an inhibitor if he ever leaves for a team fight. And if that is being played 4 versus 4, I can't really say Illuminar are gonna win it.
So Humanoid and Yeki, they tried to start up a 2-man Baron attempt a moment ago. They got spotted out by an axe from Tabasco's Olaf, but they're going for it again. This is just the 2 members of eSuba, so there is no vision here for Illuminar. Yet again, the axe will reveal this is going on, but now we're looking at 3,000 health. It's going to be after the flash steal. There it is, the Baron steal! And it's going to be Olaf who picks that one up. He goes down to Tristana as a result, but 4 members of Illuminar just got the Baron, and that could be a game-saving play from Tabasco.
This has to be punished with the death timer of Tabasco. It's 35 seconds of 5 versus 4. They either get that mid lane inhibitor or they lose a Baron and give Illuminar free scaling back into the game. Nardius is leading the charge right in front of them. They're going there. They're going on to Ice Beast though.
Ice Beast super low, but Jarvan's even lower. How low can he go? He goes right back to the fountain. It's a 4 versus 4 with both of the junglers dead. The inhibitor is going lower and lower as well. It looks like this one might drop, but oh, down goes Varus. Varus snipes Alistar. Down he goes, sniped away by the piercing arrow. Camille picks up the kill on the inhibitor, but Zera picks up the kill on the Camille. Nardius is going lower and lower.
Nardius is gone.
Try and get himself to safety, but now this is not the situation that eSuba wants to find themselves in. The Baron buff empowered minions on Illuminar Gaming, and there's a power play with 3 members dead.
This is disastrous, Greyhawk, because right here they do get the inhibitor, but at the cost of a Baron, of 2 towers, of 3 members, possibly another Drake. And right here we do see tower after tower going down. They have absolutely no means of defense against the Baron, and Humanoid is getting most of his damage blocked away by that giant shield Dillard holds in the front. Woolite is leading the charge again, and right here Illuminar break the base open of eSuba, looking for that 2 against 2. That inhibitor is gonna go down, and all the effort of eSuba got completely wasted.
I absolutely can't believe they risked the 50-50 Baron. Flash was up on Tabasco and he used it to perfection. The smite still was there, and now we have 2 inhibitors down, 1 for each team, both in the mid lane. Super minions are going to push against each other, but it is the side of Illuminar Gaming who have Baron buff to push in the other lanes.
All that is irrelevant. That's the most interesting point. Right here, Ice Beast, though, is sitting on almost 4 items on a strain. He does have a fresh Baron that can be reused. And they are going for the Mountain Drake, which is gonna pile up. 20% extra damage onto objectives is dead serious. This can no longer be faced with. Like, they need a 5 versus 5 engage resulting in a win, or eSuba will slowly get outscaled.
Alright, eSuba decides to stick the Sun Disc there in the mid lane, as you just saw, but they're not going to stick around very long to defend it. That second Mountain Drake of the game going over to Illuminar Gaming on top of the Infernal Dragon they have. The RNG gods of dragons have been on their side this game, because every time they've been in a position to take one away, it's been just what they wanted.
It's really heroic comeback from Illuminar. Like, 2 games ago, you wouldn't argue if they can actually get 2 games. Like, you would possibly guess that they are sitting on the back of a psychologically wrecked train. They do not really feel like they can come back. eSuba is pretty much outsmarting them, and right now they're losing this best of 5 2-for-1. They're not giving up. They're possibly winning this 4th one, as numbers say they're stronger. And playing a 5th game after a 2-0 lead is not a good feeling. So eSuba really need to win this one.
They do, and everything changed for Illuminar Gaming, and it is one man who has made the difference. Who is that man? Who do you think? No, it was Harold. Harold has made all the difference. His inspirational speech has inspired iSuba to come out and play 2 incredible games, has inspired Tabasco to go for the Predator Champions, and everything's working for them. It's all about Harold, Bliss.
Right here, iSuba has been leading in both wins of Illuminar Gaming, and I'm not even counting this one because it looks like a win, but even like in game 1, one mistake can happen and the game could end right there. So let's not jinx it, let's see how it goes. But both games iSuba was able to carry, to be the one leading his own team, were pretty hard for eSuba to win. So right here, we do finally see eSuba grouping up and going for a fight. No more split pushing for Chekutka. And there is the recall for iSuba. This could be the final battle.
Here we go, it's still eSuba who are pushing up. They've still got a 3,000 gold lead. We have got both inhibitors still down the mid lane. We're going to have the one of Illuminar Gaming respawning first very, very shortly. It's going to be enough reason for eSuba to start rotating around, needing to deal with these minions in mid lane. This game is absolutely balanced on a knife's edge right now, Bliss. I can taste the silver in my mouth. Those scrapes are coming closer and closer. Illuminar, can they do it? Can they defy all odds when eSuba went 2-0 up?
Well, both mid laners look immortal. Like, you do see more than 100 CS. This is Flame Horizon for Humanoid, and yet they're both equally strong. You do see Sebex applying a lot of damage into those fights, and most importantly, from a very safe range. While you do see that, none of them is the one leading their own team into battle, because this is a fight between 2 former LCS AD carries, and they're both having great performances today.
It's a long time since the real Flame Horizons were a thing, back when it was just set in lane and Flame was dominating people. What we do see, however, as this game's progressed to nearly 40 minutes, is it is essentially an item difference for the Azir over the Xerath. So that 100 CS really being put to good use. That Rabadon's death cap now completed for both champions.
An entire...
with one item missing for Sebex.
Nashor. An entire Nashor stuff.
Exactly, yes.
Which is not gonna make it, but yeah. Well, you could see Bansis Veil being made. You could see Lindra's Torment. You could see a number of stuff being used right here for Sebex to catch up. But most importantly, one mistake could make a difference more than 3 or 4 items. This is surgery right here for both teams. There's engage!
Then it goes in. It's going to be a massive, massive fight breaking out.
You're blocking everything!
Yeki, who is lower and lower. Daylord, no one's dead yet. Rulai gets a nice barrier on top of him, and nobody dies. But the Baron comes back to life. He makes his third appearance in this game. We had 4 Barons in the first game. We're about to get our third. Surely we won't see any such risk as we did last time from eSuba.
D-Lord's shield is tanking so much damage, it could even possibly be worth it to see a Sterak's Gate. Right here, I think that D-Lord is actually doing so great. Oh, could we see it again?
Still, this time it doesn't happen. It's going to be Olaf pushed out of, flashing out of the pit. Got with a Baron this time, and then he's going lower and lower, but he's already got a Baron onto his team. If the cow has to die, so be it. It's going to be a Baron buff on 4 members of eSuba.
Okay, let's keep calm. Let's keep calm. This was a repetition of the smite war.
This is so exciting.
Right here, the teams have lost their own patience. They do not really go for the safe calls. They do not go for the free Barons. They're going for the smite war, showing faith into their own junglers to outsmite their own opponents. And that's exactly what Yeki did in this one. He did get the Baron. It's 1-on-1, and the Elder Drake is actually spawning, which is possibly the strongest tiebreaker. If not this one, definitely the next one, because a second Elder Drake counts as 2.
It certainly does. Here we go. Illuminar Gaming has taken the Elder Dragon down
Smite
below
war.
half health. It is going to be
Impression
trying to do something about it, but Alistar is nowhere nearby. Yeki's now in the pit, and he's got nowhere to go. He'll have to flag himself to safety, and he's pretty low, so there's no chance of a smite contest. It's going to be Illuminar Gaming who get themselves 5 people with an Elder Dragon buff, but there's still a Baron buff on 4 members of eSuba, and they've got the Alistar rejoining them.
It's Baron vs Elder, eSuba grouping mid and shoving through mid lane just to try and get that inhibitor before Illuminar recall. In the worst case scenario, they do force those recalls and make them lose some of the Elder Drake duration. There is the wall. It actually keeps the inhibitor alive. This is a monstrous wall from D-Lord, and maybe we do see a re-engage, but the Arcane Barrage actually decimates Humanoid and takes the Solari away from eSuba.
Of course it decimates him. That's an Elder Dragon, Infernal Dragon, Illuminar Gaming Xerath that now has got himself a blasting one filling that final gap, and it's going to be a push straight down the mid lane from Woolite and his team. The former LCS pro here looking to bring that, bring the game's level at 2-all by just helping carry his team hard. He's 5-2-3, and they're looking to catch out to Chiketka, and it's going to dash itself to safety, but loses turret in response.
Okay, Chiketka is pretty safe right here, but they do lose the tier 2 tower, which of course is no surprise. Both teams are sitting on the exactly same base status. Both of them only have inhibitor towers on the side lanes, and the middle lane is with exposed inhibitors, but both of them pretty healthy. Right here, D-Lord saved the inhibitor of Illuminar Gaming with the best wall he could possibly cast. That is a game changer, and we do see the members of both eSuba and Illuminar actually making so many great plays. This is a battle of monsters.
It really, really is. I'm loving the adaptation coming out in this game from Yeki on the Jarvan, taking that locket. He's got himself a Knight's Vow as well. He's just trying to boost the protection and the damage that's going to be coming out of his carries. Meanwhile, the Olaf is going slightly more greedily, obviously, with that Predator. And yeah, it's a very different build.
Woolite's on 7 items. Woolite's on 7 items. He sold his boots. That's the 7 item build. He did go for the 110 critical strike chance, which of course is a little bit of an overstatement, but you get the point. He does fire multiple shots. He has the ability to apply a lot of damage into those team fights, but he does actually sacrifice his own mobility for it. So right here, if eSuba get word of it and they do get a good collapse onto Woolite, it could be the end.
I'm getting this feeling that this game could be won or lost based on the actions of Chiketka. The constant split pushing has been such a pain in Illuminar Gaming's side, but if he weren't to join a critical team fight with Teleport at the right moment, it could cost his team in a big way. Will he be the hero or will he be the villain of this piece?
I really don't know. The Stone played V4 Tabasco is ready, and this is an item that can make an insane difference in a fight. That's an item that can soak a lot of burst into that front line. An item that can offer your team a huge locket of the Iron Solaris seal just because of that extra HP. Right here, the mid lane inhibitor is threatened yet again for the team of eSuba, and Illuminar Gaming are defending it successfully, but it does cost them the Arcane Barrage, which could be of vital importance in the end of the day.
45 minutes in, and the stakes could not be higher. Just like an Alistar that's been hit by a Cho'Gath Rupture.
Wow.
Go on, Bliss. That's like...
I need a little bit of a breather.
I can't take all the credit for that one, unfortunately. That's a fellow caster who came up with a wonderful line. It's still the best league pun I've ever heard. And that could be one of the best knockups I've ever seen, because this could be the game-winning fight. The inhibitor's going lower and lower, but Nadia's having to jump himself to safety. Who picks up a kill onto Alistar. Now he's dashing down, but there's a stun disc keeping the side of the Super healthy. It's going to be a 1-0. The inhibitor does drop, but down goes the cow.
And the wall of humanoid. Yes, it actually stayed alive. D-Lord yet again with the self-sacrifice, putting himself in the front of that inhibitor with a shield, actually depriving it of his own team just to make sure that inhibitor doesn't go down, and it goes so well for Illuminar. They do win that fight. They win it slightly, but they do keep that inhibitor up. And all that time, humanoid was on 6 items. Now he's selling one to actually replace it with another. But all that happened with Sebex being on 5 items, now he's on 6, and he's slowly scaling even better. Look at the engage. They get 3 people. They all have flashes and they go out. This leaves Danik defenseless, and the redemption just shreds through his unbreakable will. There's no reduction for true damage. eSuba have to disengage. The Tower of Humanoid is the perfect plan B, but they did lose that fight, and Ice Beast though barely surviving this. What is this?
Absolutely incredible. Chekutka going absolutely balls to the wall time, and he's going to now throw in the teleport. He's going to be straight on top of the Baron as it spawns for the 4th time. Yet again, it's going to be the... Oh, wow! Azir picks up the kill for the Baron. The Arcane Barrage does rain down, but doesn't steal the Baron away from the eSuba. That's going to be 5 members of the eSuba. They managed to escape this time with everyone having the Baron buff.
That's the 2nd Baron buff eSuba get. And in less than 2 minutes, the real Elder Drake will be up. Will we have to actually see that one being contested? I'm not really sure, but right now, we do see Sebex finally on 6 items. The Zonia's Hourglass is right there as a plan B. The flashes have been burned, and if we do see a repetition of the previous fight, the amount of disengage coming out from Illuminar Gaming are not gonna be as useful. Without those flashes, Chekutka's ultimatum is much more punishing. The Cataclysm is also much more punishing, and there is no way you cannot kite Ice Beasto if he doesn't have his flash. So right here, I am giving a huge advantage to eSuba on top of that Baron buff.
I want to agree with you, but watching that last fight where we had this incredible knock-up coming out of Danik onto 2 key members, we saw the Cataclysm trapping said members in place, but still eSuba couldn't get the kills, and Nadius found himself being forced to run away from the damage raining down from Sebex and Woolite. And I just don't know how eSuba are going to win a fight if they couldn't do it in that situation. This inhibitor seems to have more lives than a cat does, because it keeps staying alive.
It has its own support, that's for sure. There hasn't been as much spilling on an inhibitor ever, and D-Lord takes the cake. This is a world record for the most damage tanked for an inhibitor. But right here, there are more important stuff to actually witness. This is the ultimate stalemate. Neither team has the capacity to actually end the game through a 5 versus 5 team fight. And both teams are very capable into defending their own bases infinitely. So the tiebreakers are the Barons, are the Elder Drakes. These are the ones that make a real difference, and eSuba are getting both this time.
They are indeed, and there is going to be a very small period while they have got both of those buffs paying off. The burn of the Elder Dragon, the Baron buff still circling around the bodies of the ESP members. Humanoid stepping forward, desperately wanting to finally get this inhibitor. Can we finally see a game-ending fight, or will we see a fifth Baron?
I definitely don't want to jinx it. Look at how fast Tabasco goes down without that round being Solomon. He's definitely not as quick as the target. They are gonna FF that mid lane inhibitor just because of that Elder Drake, and it is possibly gonna be Illuminar Gaming letting a lot of objectives go down just so they don't lose the game right here. That double Elder Dragon is so powerful, and they do seem to respect it quite a lot.
They do. Every inhibitor turret now destroyed from the base of Illuminar Gaming. They just have the 2 bricks left defending their Nexus. They have still got the inhibitor in the bot lane, but it surely won't be too long till Nadius and crew come along to try and secure the final piece of the puzzle that they need to take home this big prize pool to secure the glory of winning the V4 Festival. Can we see this final inhibitor fall? Humanoid is going down to half health. Ice Beasto triggers his ultimate, looking for Yeki. He's going to get himself to safety, though Nadius jumping away. And for now, Illuminar Gaming keep themselves alive.
That's the perfect disengage. We have been talking about Greyheart. They do save that last inhibitor, but they're definitely entrapped into their own base. They have absolutely nowhere to go. They have absolutely no vision around their own jungle. And with the exception of a few wards that could potentially give TP flanks for Illuminar Gaming, they have finally been trapped into their base. The tiebreaker of the Elder Drake has given eSuba the edge, and it is going to result into a broken base from Illuminar.
Final inhibitor drops, and now we have a completely exposed set of Nexus turrets for Illuminar Gaming. If they are to come back into this game, they're going to have to defy all of the odds. But with the death timers so long, were they to win one crucial fight, it could mean the game for Illuminar Gaming, and I feel that's why we see eSuba being so cautious.
Fun fact, if for any reason at all, eSuba does not end the game before the respawn of those inhibitors, they would have thrown 3 minutes of 3-lane farm into the base of Illuminar Gaming without actually farming anything back. So I know right now most of them are sitting on full items. It wouldn't make too much of a difference, but you do see support and jungle still having a little bit of room for improvements into their own builds.
I'm slightly disappointed. Hold on a second. We're going to see a catch onto Ice Beast, though. He is in no man's land. He's going to drop so very fast. The Zon is keeping him alive for a while. Humanoid going lower to the Arcane Barrage. Splash away from Ice Beast, though. He's got some support. And this is not going to be the dead Swain I thought it would. He flashes to safety, and he lives. He lives.
He's alive. Oh my god,
It's
like this.
a miracle.
This doesn't end. It never ends. It never ends, because right here Ice Beasto has been effectively immortal. The amount of health he's getting back into his own Zonias could be all that Woolite needs to apply the necessary damage into those fights, because we haven't seen a straight up 5 versus 5 fight. Neither team is willing to go for it. They all go for that Baron advantage, the Elder Dragon advantage, and of course that's the correct way to play the game. But right here, Illuminar Gaming seem to completely stay out of options as minions flood their own base.
Here comes the siege. We have got super minions flooding into Illuminar Gaming's base. The Nexus turrets are in the side of Nadius. He's looking to try and get some explosive charges down, but there's a shutdown. Humanoid goes down to Varus out of nowhere. The chains of corruption do their work, and Woolite eats through the heart of Humanoid just as the Baron's about to spawn.
It was that amount of burst we were talking about. Like, we were waiting for Woolite to pop off. Like, when is he gonna destroy those team fights?
There's the catch out, there's the cataclysm. It's gonna be, oh wow, Varus goes down. Woolite is dead. Both of the ADCs not able to do their most now.
Look at Nadius!
Is running away, but he uses the buster shot to keep himself alive. Now we see in the back line, it's going to be the death of Chetki. No! Yes! He goes down. Ice Beast is absolutely legendary with the way he's kills, and it's going to be another one as the cow dies for the 6th time this game. Steak is served. How do you like your chops? Oh no, the Nexus turret, they may well drop to the super minion. One Nexus turret fall, will the second go down? Seraph desperately doing his best to keep the base alive. And it's a brief reprieve for eSuba, who lost that fight in a big way, and now they can look toward Baron.
This is a small price to pay for Illuminar Gaming. They stay alive right there. They lost Woolite and they still won the fight, which is pretty much the weirdest stuff we could see ever. This doesn't really happen. Ice Beast has been carrying the weight of the entire Poland onto his own shoulders. Right here, Tabasco is looking for yet another steal. He's not gonna get it. Another one, a third Baron on the hands of eSuba, and they haven't been able to end the game. And those inhibitors we were talking about, they're back up. There they are. They have survived the 3 minutes of inhibitor downtime.
I just can't. What's happening? I also, considering Tabasco made this clutch game-changing play, deciding not to go in there for the flash smite. Now, if he goes in and he steals it, he dies. He has no way out of that Baron pit. He absolutely goes down. And I feel it was that fear of the 5 versus 4 potential, the long death timer, that stopped the potential steal from Tabasco. Right choice or wrong choice in your eyes, Bliss?
Wrong or right, no one is really that sure of what to say right here, because the amount of choices that defined the flow of this game is infinite. Right here, if Illuminar Gaming somehow win this game 4, they're heroes forever. Doesn't matter if they win V4 or not. They know what's at stake. They haven't played 60 minutes to FF now. They want that win, and eSuba are sweating bullets to get this win. Still not able to do it.
The Elder Dragon will be appearing on the Rift the 3rd time in just 45 seconds time. Right now, it certainly feels like control of the map is in eSuba's possession. If they're able to take this Elder again with the Baron, surely those 3 inhibitors will fall, and that 1 Nexus turret can't stay much longer. But I've seen crazier things today. I've seen Baron steals. I've seen teams coming back from 7,000 gold behind. And now, with the items at full build, I'm seeing a fight between a Swade and a Camille. Camille seems to be winning this fight, and meanwhile, in mid lane, the 4 versus 4 can break up any second. And it is going to be Humanoid who joins. There's the Zonya, already used by Ice Beast, so he's caught out. Can his team get to him this time? The Redemption's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Humanoid picks up the kill, and it's going to be the push towards the inhibitors again. Just trying to get there, but it's going to be Painful Corruption landing on Sietski. He's going to run away, get the flag and drag just in time, not too down. In goes Denik, he's trying to do as much work as he can. He's going lower and lower. There is a lot of damage coming through from Woolite, but Varus not able to
look at the burst.
Here comes the teleport. He's going to rejoin on full health. And there we go, Tabasco going lower and lower on the Olaf, having to run back to base. The inhibitor will fall for the 3rd time this game. And we are going to have Yeki leading his team out of the base as the Arcane Barrage rains down onto the eSuba team. They run away with an inhibitor as their prize.
Oh my god, it's raining Arcane Barrage as Humanoid survives. I'm tired, you're tired, they're tired, and it's still not over. And it might have an even... It might have another game right here. Elder Dragon, number 3 for eSuba. Like, they have 10 towers. It's been an hour they've been playing. And right now, gold basically doesn't even count. All that matters is wave management, Baron buffs, Elder Dragon buffs, and inhibitor downtimes. That's the only thing that matters right now. Because even Ice Beast, though, who has been an absolute menace into those fights, has started to be fragile and an easy target, and dying so quickly to the burst of Chekovka.
Only the supports aren't full build, Bliss. We're getting to a point in the game where we're probably going to see people selling items, picking up ZZ Rot portals or banners of command, and then buying their items again. This has had it all. 59 minutes in, and Humanoid returns to the top lane to try and push into this inhibitor. Meanwhile, we do see the rest of his team pushing as a fruit in the mid lane. Up there back because Camille still pushing with the super minions in the bot lane, and this is going to be so hard for Illuminar Gaming to deal with. It feels like a fight or die situation.
Well, the Elder Drake has been taken, and that's when they gave away all their inhibitors. There's Engage with the Arcane Barrage. The snipes are good onto Humanoid, but he looks like he's gonna go away. Inhibitor is gonna go down. There's no shield protecting from the Elder Drakes, and D-Lord will not be saving any more inhibitors.
And I've got to give so much credit to Illuminar Gaming. They've been behind for vast periods of this game. They're ahead on kills, even though they're 10,000 down on gold. They just need one fight to go their way, and they could walk down mid and change this game forever. But here we go, the final inhibitor drops. It's going to be Yeki going down lower and lower. The redemption is going to be enough to pick up the kill. And in fact, it is exactly that happens. But as it returns one onto Ice Beast, so only one Nexus turret remains. But it's not as he goes lower and lower. He manages to get himself to safety. But flashboard from Olaf picks up the kill onto Tristana. Now it's going to be Humanoid running away. Meanwhile, Samuel's doing work in the background. Takes down Barrett. It's going to be Sebek going golden. It's not going to be enough to keep it alive. 2 kills for Humanoid. The double, the triple, the game, the tournament is won by eSuba. The final fight is perfect from Humanoid. He does it again. eSuba take the victory. 3 games to 1.
Your V4 champions, eSuba, take it against Illuminar Gaming after an agonizing Game 4. After a monstrous best of 5, they